Last time you guys were working together, you were both sort of party to the lightning between Viola and Chadwick in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. You must have enjoyed working together since you're back. How's that kind of... how did that whole environment feel compared to this one, and what has kind of drawn you guys back together creatively?
Well, I think we built a sense of, trust. The way as collaborators to work together. I mean, obviously, if George would cast me again, I think hopefully, I did something, remotely right. But I think that we are very passionate about this subject matter and telling great stories and people that we care about. So I think that, I know that George would build a room that was filled with great interrogators of art and form and history and give us the space to truly create. So that's why I'm here.
Well, it's interesting because Ma Rainey was about people being in a place where they didn't really belong. People primarily from the South in Chicago. This is about people who are all living in New York City and they own their version of it and they're very invested in redefining it so it's reflective of them. So people in Ma Rainey are interested in coming in, doing what they have to do, and getting out. Everybody, every single character in this movie is about, no, this shit has got to change, and we're going to change it, period.
Colman, just let's get a picture of where you are right now. Two kind of huge projects together back to back. You've got The Colour Purple on one side, this great ensemble cast that you're part of. On the other side, you're leading this project on Netflix, a little bit like a tennis player who's playing both singles and doubles at the Open. Have you had much time for sleep the last couple of years? How are you enjoying this kind of period of your career, this purple patch, if you will?
When I'm working, I don't have a lot of time for sleep, no. Because I'm working 14 hours a day and then going at home and preparing for the next day. And that sort of rigor I love, because I love what I do. And I get to tell such incredible stories. I mean, you just laid out two things that I feel passionate about. Both sets were great opportunities to be a part of incredible storytelling. I get rest though. People are like, no, I go work out, I go to lunch. I'm a restful, peaceful person when I'm not working. But when I'm working, I do have a singular focus because I think that's how much I respect the work.
People are going to be seeing a lot of you playing very polar opposite type of characters at the moment. You've got this like antagonistic Mr. over on The Colour Purple, then you've got like the joyfully combative but warm Rustin on the other. How are those two experiences as a performer for you? Which do you find the most kind of cathartic or difficult or challenging?
I've long been a performer that sort of like, went under the radar. So I really feel like I can do what I wanted, and I was never boxed in, and people never thought of me as being this type of actor or this type. I come from the theater, and I know in the theater, I think like me and my comrades, we play everything. It's a really lovely time to be seen in that way, to be seen in the way that I see myself, without limitation. I started out in the circus. I was in the circus for a year. Now, that all makes sense now. But I think that starting out in the circus... starting out in the circus, I think, honestly liberated me early on in my career, where I felt like I had to approach things with the heart of a clown and being willing to risk, fail and risk again. So I think that's wonderful.
You spoke about your background in the theatre there. You both have incredibly distinguished careers in the theatre. I felt like this movie kind of had a theatre feel to it, which is almost like a genre of film in itself, when you get to kind of luxuriate in the dialogue in scenes of people all like chipping into a conversation.
I take in the concept of theatrical, but it's more so, it wasn't, let's make this theater. It was more so really smart people talking aggressively because they all believe they have the way to go forward.
Like all good movies and all good stories, you leave asking yourself, why wasn't this story told before in this kind of way? It's been 60 years now since the March on Washington. You think progress has been, you can say progress has been slow and all sorts of things, but on getting a story like this out as creators, are you surprised it's taken this long? And feel frustrated that this story hasn't been told like this before?
It was the correct degree of circumstances. There were 3 times we tried to film the March on Washington. COVID kept on invading. And then when we filmed it, it was 117 degrees, which was horrifying, but it was the perfect time to film it. So it was the correct intersection of all the people coming together. Had it happened sooner, Who knows, at one point somebody suggested the slogan, but the man behind Martin Luther King. That's not a subtitle for a movie about Rustin. The subtitle for a movie about Rustin is Rusted. It happened, I think, at an optimum time.
Gentlemen, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm sure lots of people will. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.